Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me in this yoga practice. This practice honors the constellation and the energy of Libra. Libra is an air sign and is concerned with balance, harmony, and also communication. This practice is great for Libra season and anytime you want to harness these energies. All right, so go ahead and let's begin laying flat on our back in a reclined position. Take a moment here and let yourself be totally flat on the earth. Spread out the legs, spread out the arms. We usually reserve this kind of attention that we're about to take to our Savasana. However, we're going to begin on the mat in a very conscious reclined position. I want you to snuggle the shoulder blades under the body. Go ahead and reach those thighs out and just get nice and long and flat. Deep breath here and expand the lungs as well as the lower abdomen, filling to your entirety. Take a moment connecting with your breath. So Libra season is about finding harmony in what seem like opposing ideas. And having this ability to hold two opposing ideas in your mind at once and allowing them to both be true. Take a moment and consider where you may want to bring more balance or more harmony into your life. Libra is also concerned with communication, as I mentioned, so you might want to think about how to incorporate that into your intention for this practice. Once you have sealed your intention and set it in motion, allow this practice to be the catalyst for your intention. From here, engage your core. So we're not even moving into posture yet. We're just engaging core. So pull the navel down and up towards the spine. Feel a very subtle lifting in this lower abdomen. The hips kind of pulling gently upward, engaging the core. So this pulling up to meet the upper body. All right, that back is getting nice and flat. Now turn the palms to face the earth. Use them for a little support. Maybe push into your left heel here. And then using your core, using your leg muscles only, find lift. Okay, bring this right leg high. And then we're going to pull it into chest. From here, go ahead and capture that shin or perhaps the back of the thigh, whatever feels good. And in this position, I want you to engage the arms, just turning those muscles on, getting those biceps engaged, pulling the shoulders down to flatten the back and the upper body. This is getting those arms working. And we're going to pull this knee up to chest until you feel a good deep stretch in the glutes. No forcing here, just go as far as you're able. And then we're going to take this right arm and in the nook of your elbow,
go ahead and see if you can capture your knee. If you don't get that far, that's fine. It might work better for you to tuck the arm under the knee. What I'm hoping to get out of this is a cradling sensation. So, sort of cradling that right leg in the right arm. The left arm can still be up here engaged if you want a little more support. Then from here, we're going to just bring a gentle rocking motion to this right leg. You might feel a compression here in the front of the hip, on that hip flexor. And see if you can also get a little glute massage or hip massage as we maybe widen these circles or this rocking motion. So we're also massaging the kidney area, one of the organs, the main organ of the body ruled by Libra, stimulating this area on the hips. All right, from here, we're going to lengthen, straighten this right leg, and we can capture that thigh with the arms and hands. See if we can straighten this leg, and no forcing. We're just trying to feel a good stretch on the back of the leg. Then from here, we're going to release the hands and we're going to go slow and steady, maybe bringing hands to hips for a little extra stability, maybe pushing those hands to the earth. Slowly lower that right leg down. It might feel a little intense as you go. Breathe and stick with it. Good. Once you come all the way down, take a moment and just release. Turn the palms to face the sky. Relax the shoulders, relax the legs. Deep breath here into the lungs, into the low abdomen. Again, turn on the core. Everything drives from the core. And lift that left leg. Push your hands down, palms to the earth. Left leg lifts up. And we bring knee to chest, grabbing on and pulling to center just like the other side. Take a moment and settle into the stretch. See how much you can pull this leg back. No forcing. If it feels really intense, ease it. And then, once you've got your distance, go ahead and capture that knee or whatever you did on the other side. Maybe this side is different and maybe you have to find a new way to grab onto this leg. So figure out what works. And then do a gentle rocking motion left and right. We're massaging the front of the hip and the kidney and even the back of the hip here. Maybe widen that a little bit to get more into the glutes. Maybe feel more of a stretch in the groin. Explore a little movement here. And then we're going to lift that left leg high, nice and long to the sky. See if you can straighten the leg. Once again, we're just aiming for a hamstring or maybe a calf stretch here. So whatever you need to do to feel that, go ahead and do it. And if holding the leg really isn't working for you, you can always bring straps into the game here, wrapping them around your thigh and holding on. Release the grip that you have on that thigh. And then slow and steady, just as before, lower that left leg. Breathe here. Find some pressure in the rest of the body, some tension to help you with this, engaging the core, pushing the hands. You got this. Slow and steady. And then when you hit the ground, release the palms to the sky and just relax the ankles, relax the shoulders. Find a moment of release. All right, palms are going to turn to face the ground once again. Use them, push them down to give a little force, a little pressure. And we're going to lift both knees this time. So we're going to try to avoid dragging the heels, but if that is what you have to do to get up here, please go for it. Otherwise, see if you can really lift those legs and pull them in. Get here however you can. Protect the low back by keeping that core engaged. It's very important. All right, grab both knees, both shins here, and pull those knees towards the chest. I really enjoy a rocking sensation here. It feels good to decompress the spine. Maybe explore whatever movement feels good for you. Now send both legs high to the sky. We're going to waterfall here for a few breaths. And I do want you to try to see how straight you can get these legs. Stretching out the back of these hamstrings, the back of the thigh, calves, getting a foot stretch here as we flatten those feet to the ceiling. Hands to the earth now. Use your core, engage, and lower both legs down. This time, there's one caveat. We are not touching the earth. I want you to find a little hollow body hold here. Get those legs down as far as you can. Back is flat, core is engaged. Once you can't get any further without feeling like you're losing the integrity of your core, stay. Breathe. Then pull those knees back into chest. Good. Roll it out a little bit to decompress any tension that builds up in the low back. All right, from here, we're going to create a gentle rocking sensation. We're going to keep it kind of light here at first just to see how it feels on the spine. I'm lifting my hips and I'm trying to get my feet over my head, all right? So if that works for you, experiment with a little booty lift here. If that doesn't work for you and if rocking is not an option, I encourage you to do a little more side-to-side action, and then you can come up into a fetal position to rise. If you're liking the rocking, stay with it and stay with me. If it feels okay for you, you could see if your toes will touch the floor behind you. If that feels way too intense, just don't. And then from here, we're going to start lifting the upper body into this. All right, so now we're getting a little momentum to rock and roll. And we're going to keep this momentum going. Notice when you get to the top, there's a moment of almost stillness, and then you roll back down. Embrace that and come into a boat pose. We can grab onto the legs to keep us supported. We can let go if we're feeling strong. If you really want to challenge, straighten those legs and try to come into more of a hollow body. Breathe. Wherever you are, ball it up, and we're going to come into a seated position, taking our movements slow and steady. Get into a nice, supported, upright, seated posture. We won't be here super long, just for a couple moves. Lengthen the spine, pulling that navel in and up. Feel the tailbone pushing down to the earth, shoulder blades roll down.
Deep breath here. Lift the arms high to the sky, keeping those shoulders rolled behind you. So not here, but down and open. Good. Widen those arms so they're nice and straight. And then think kind of like a windmilling motion as we bring right arm to the earth, left arm reaches high. And we're going to keep this a little fluid instead of coming into a very still side bend. I encourage you to find movement up and down the spine. We can wave the arm along with, and you might find that you can go a little deeper. Experiment with what feels good, trying to keep this shoulder high, so avoiding one of these motions and keeping it really up in the air. Imagine that you are like a piece of seaweed reaching towards the surface of the water. And then as we do this, we can slow this down and come into more of a still side bend. Keeping that left shoulder nice and high. Maybe you rotate your neck to look up. Push your left thigh down, left hip stays low. Good. Inhale, lift. Keep those arms straight. See if you can find this sort of like balancing teeter-totter motion as we come to the other side and we move into a little flowing seaweed sort of motion here. I encourage you to really notice how it feels in the body. Notice where you feel maybe some stretching sensations. Where do you feel some pulling? Keep that right thigh heavy. That right shoulder is rounded up to the sky. Okay, and then we're going to slow down this movement and we're going to lean in for a deeper side bend. Keeping our right shoulder lifted high. Pushing the right hip down, opposing forces here. Inhale, lift. We can teeter-totter those arms out straight. And then we're going to straighten out the legs for our next move. Spine is nice and straight here as well. And these arms up in the air, we're going to do a little swimming motion. So this right arm is going to reach back behind you. So see if you can get a big range of motion with this arm going back, up, high, over, and then across the body. So I want the fullest range of motion you can get in this shoulder. And the other arm is going to come back, high, up, reach over while the other arm slides back here. All right, so we've got this swimming motion. We're going to take a few of these on each side, going slow and steady, getting full rotation of that shoulder. Maybe getting a little stretch in the hamstrings, calf, low back. Keep those toes pointed high. Keep integrity through the spine. You are using your core always as we move. Good. Even it out so that you end with the opposite arm that you started with. And from here, we're going to bend the knees, tuck them under, and roll into tabletop. If that doesn't work, of course, find your own way. Get into a strong supported tabletop so the navel pulls up to the spine. The knees are under the hips, hands are under the shoulders, and then do a little cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Okay, from this rounded position, we're going to move into a move that I love and that I refer to as the organ grinder. So the spine is high, and then we're going to act like we're drawing a hoop with our navel. So the navel's going to shift to the left. And as it does that, it's going to round down. So now we're at our lowest point. As it rounds down, it moves to the right, all the way up, and then repeat. All right, see how much range of motion you can find through the spine. And then the head is doing the opposite as the body. So when the body comes down, the head is going up. And if you want to visualize this, it is as if the head is the knob, the crank, the turn, and the body is the device that moves with. One more of these big circles, and at the top, we're going to freeze and switch our rotations. Get the neck and the body rotating the other way. Okay, from here, take a moment and get down into a resting child's pose. Just take a little pressure off the hands. We're going to be using them a lot today, so we're going to try to take care where we can. Lift up into a tabletop from here, and then lift your right leg high, left arm follows. So we're going into a bird dog motion. That is a lift and a squeeze. Now, if the bird dog doesn't work for you, you're still really working on stability in the hips, shoulders, core. Make this a one leg, and then you can reach the arm. All right, so you can do them kind of one at a time. Otherwise, if you are able, get them both up in the air. Think one long line through the leg and through the arm, and we're going to squeeze. Okay, so let's go for 6 of these on each side. Reach it out one final time and then come on down. All right, same as the other side. Bird dog, or take your own modification. Okay, squeeze, reach, get your breath in here. So inhale, exhale. Okay, last one. Reach it out, return to tabletop. Take another moment, come back to child's pose, just have a little rest. If you want to open up the hips a little bit, you can widen those knees and come into your child's pose this way. All right, we're going to walk it up back into our tabletop position, and we're going to reach that right leg out, curl the toes under. Take a moment here and just push, stretching out the calf and the hamstring. And then we're going to take this opposite arm, left arm reaches forward. All right, we're coming into a modified tiger, so it's going to look like bird dog at first. And then we're going to bend the knee, and we're going to bend the opposite elbow. Breathe. Stay here. Left arm returns to the earth. Right leg follows. Okay, take it right to the other side. Stretch out that left leg nice and long. Stretch out that hamstring. Stretch out that calf. Reach out that right hand. Okay, go ahead and lift. Come to your starting position. Bend the knee, bend the elbow, hand to the sky. So the goal here is to try to get one long line through the thigh, the torso, and this arm, and also the neck. Breathe. Lower the arm and let the leg follow. Once again, take a short rest in child's pose. We're balancing our action here with our rest. And take a breath here, lift back up into your tabletop. And come into a down dog. As always, be mindful of posture. Toes are very slightly pointed in. Bend the knees, lift the hips. The entire surface of the hand pushes firmly down. Shoulders roll back, elbows point behind you. Heart melts to the earth, hips go high. Good. Take a moment here and breathe. Take a few deep breaths here and really just enjoy this inversion. And then we're going to bring knees to the earth and we're going to rise up into our kneeling posture. Take a moment here, re-engage the core, push the tailbone down to the earth. And we're going to do a swimming motion here, but it's going to be slightly different. So we're going to take this right arm, it's going to go up, and as it does that, I want you to take the left arm out. So it's going to almost feel like a scissoring motion as these arms come into opposite directions. So one comes out, one is reaching kind of behind you. And the reason for that is it's going to sweep over while one hand is behind your back, and we're going to kneel down. So this is like the swimming that we did while we were seated, but it is now kneeling. So we're going to swing this right arm behind, and the left arm comes up and over to the other side. Forehead can touch the earth. Use your core here as always, and then you can decide if you like the knees or the toes curled under or not. Take a few more on each side. So right arm comes up, left arm comes behind. Lift and reverse. Lift and reverse. And again, lift and reverse. Stay here for a moment. Rise up into our kneeling posture. And then we're going to lift both arms together. Bring them both to the earth. Lift up to tabletop here, and we're going to do our first Vinyasa Flow. Since this is our first one, you can take it easy, or you can go right into it. If you want to be a little more gentle on the first one, knees come to the earth. And we're going to use those hands to lower all the way down, nice and easy. When you get here, get those thighs nice and flat to the earth, lift up into a little cobra. Nothing too intense. We're engaging the core. And you're going to release forehead to the earth. Good. Hands under the shoulders. Push yourself back up to your plank. And then return to down dog. Good. Once again, take a few deep breaths here. Right leg comes high to the sky. And toes point down, hips are balanced. Keep those hands nice and steady. Okay? Then we're going to bring knee to chest. You got this. Kick it high. Bring your knee to the opposite elbow and see if they can touch. Kick it high. From here, take your three-legged dog, bending the knee, foot comes to the glute, and the hip is open. Then make a big rainbow with that knee and touch same elbow or try. Kick it high. And then step it up. into our kneeling warrior. We're going to make this a kneeling warrior 2, actually. So what's happening is we're pivoting this rear leg to point down with the right side of the mat. And we're lining up this heel with the knee. So we can come into this sort of square shape here between the legs. And we want to feel a nice opening of the right hip. Reach those arms out wide. Take a moment here and just breathe. Turn the face forward towards this right arm. And then see if you can keep those arms lifted. We're going to modify this and get into some gait variations. So see if you can keep those arms here while just sliding this right leg long. Foot pushes firmly to the ground. And then we can just tip it over to the side, resting the hand just to the back of the thigh. Left hand comes high. From here, you have a couple options to get into a gate pose. So option 1, if you're feeling really strong in the core and you feel like you got this, go ahead and just windmill those arms straight down. For those of you who feel like you need a little help getting there, so you're here, you can bend into this knee to support your hand, and you can just kind of walk it around. That's like probably the easiest way. And there's lots of other variations in between. So find your way to this gate posture. And then if you're ready for it, go ahead and lift that right leg, straighten out this right arm. See if we can make one long line through the body. Support the neck here. And we are not locking our left arm. Stay strong. Good. Everybody lower the leg. Then we're going to round the shoulder forward to come down. All right, everybody walk it back around, coming out of this gate pose, nice and easy. And then step it back. We're going to return to our down dog. Take a moment here, breathe. Left leg comes high this time. Knee to chest. You got this, kick it high. Knee to opposite elbow. See if they can touch. Kick it high. Open the hip here for 3-legged dog. And then arc that knee up. Big rainbow. See if you can touch. Same elbow. Kick it on up. And then step it forward. From here, set up for your kneeling warrior 2. So once again, this right knee is lined up with your left heel, toes. The hip is open, and the knee is also stacked over this ankle. This leg is behind. All right, warrior 2 arms. Send the gaze forward. Take a moment here, breathe. Keep these arms lifted. And see if you can straighten out that leg. From here, find your way into the gate pose. Then, if you are ready, go ahead and lift for full gate. Or maybe you stay low for now. In your gate pose, your toes point forward the same way that you're looking. The neck is supported, one long line of energy through that left side of the body. And we're going to release the leg, roll the left shoulder forward to safely walk out of this pose. Step it back and take another moment of rest in your child's pose. Hands to the earth, go ahead and find lift back into a tabletop and then into down dog. In your down dog, we're going to practice a little hopping. If you feel unstable while hopping, I encourage you to take it easy, or possibly skip it altogether if it's not working for you. If you're feeling a little, well, I'll have some variations for you. So let's just get right into it. So one option is to be on the hands. Like I said, you can take it easy. Like you can lift and you can just hop a couple inches. So we're going to lift one leg and try hopping. You can get more into this if you want to, seeing how high you can get those legs. And another variation for you is to be on the forearms. This will possibly feel more unstable, possibly more stable, depending on where your strengths lie. Same thing, we can practice hopping, keeping those feet above us. Now, if you're a yogi who does inversions and handstands, this is no problem for you probably. If you are wanting to practice inversions and handstands, these are great practice moves. So hop around a little bit, and then we're going to take a moment of rest. We're going to return to our down dog, or if you really like to be on those forearms, you're going to return to more of a puppy, like almost like a dolphin posture, actually. And hop on the other leg. And as you do this, notice how maybe this side feels different. And try to keep those legs in line with the body. So if they're swinging way over your head, try to keep them more upright. That will help you feel more balanced. And then once you've had some time to practice your hopping on that side, we're going to take another moment of rest. Again, return to your down dog. This time, or of course your modified version, whatever you like, this time we're going to do both legs. Keep a gentle bend in these elbows as you hop. And if you start to really gain some air, that's one step closer to handstands and inversions. And then when you're all hopped out, go ahead and take one final hop to the top of your mat. Come into a forward fold here and just take a moment to decompress. We did a lot of hopping, a lot of inverting. Breathe here, bend the knees. And then slowly, when you feel ready, no rushing this, slow and steady, deep breaths, unfurl the spine, and return, come into, for the first time, your mountain pose. Take a moment here, push firmly through the feet, lifting the core, drawing the tailbone down, open the arms, the hands, then just notice how you're feeling. Good. We're going to step to the top of the mat, and we're going to do a Vinyasa Flow. So lift the arms high to the sky and fold it down. Hands plant to the earth, step it back, find your full plank if you're able. Come into up dog or your cobra variation. So cobra, knees are down, hips are down, up dog, only the feet are touching. And go ahead and come on back to down dog.
All right, folks, we're going to work it a little bit more. We're really working up a sweat here today. Lift that right leg high. And we're going to bring knee to chest. Flow through this again here. Lift it high. Knee to opposite chest. See if they can touch. Maybe it's easier this time. Kick it high and then open the hip. Three-legged dog. Arc that knee up and over. Touch. Same elbow. Kick it high. Step it up. This time, full warrior two. Take it easy. Get here as you're ready. Pay attention to the alignment of these feet. Arch of this foot lines up with the heel of this foot. Check it. Open these hips. Unlock this leg and open the arms. Send the gaze forward and breathe. Reverse it. And then extended side angle. This right arm comes to rest on right thigh. Lift that arm high to the sky. And then we're going to bring this left arm down, step it back, take a vinyasa. Return to your down dog. We're going to repeat that on this side. Left leg high. Knee to chest. Kick it up. Knee to opposite elbow. See if they touch. Kick it up. Open this hip big and wide. Big arcing knee. See if you can touch. Same elbow. Kick it up. And once again, step it on up. Full warrior two. Check your alignment. Check how it feels. Breathe. And reverse your warrior. Come into an extended side angle on this side. Good. Go ahead and bring your hands down to the earth. Step it back for a vinyasa. Bring your knees to the earth and rest in a child's pose. This time, especially if you didn't do it earlier, I encourage you to really open those knees so we can get into a deeper hip opening version of the child's pose stretch. So go ahead and stay here, bring that forehead to the earth, and we're just going to take a few deep breaths. We did a lot of work. We're not quite done yet, but I want you to just rest and take it in. All right, hands to the earth. Go ahead and come back into a tabletop first, and then we'll enter a down dog. All right, in your down dog, take your left foot and step it up to where it's right about under your other knee or close to it. We're going to enter a side plank. So those of you who are maybe really experienced or just really feeling extra strong today, you can come into a full side plank. But for the rest of us, we're going to do this. We're going to put this foot to the earth, turn onto the outer foot on the other foot. It's going to be awkward for a second until we open it up. Now, this knee stays pointed up and out, not collapsing in or back. And we're on the outer edge of that right foot. Both arms are reaching high into opposite directions.
You could enter a full side plank if you're feeling it, or stay in your stay in your supported. Go ahead and bring those hands to the earth and gently untwist so you can come back into down dog. Knees to the earth. Rest for a moment. Lift. Come to a tabletop first. Down dog. And this time we're going to take the right foot. We're going to step it up so it's about under our knee. Point the toes out. It's going to feel awkward as we get onto the outer edge of this left foot, and then we open it up into side plank. This is core here. This is legs. This is arms. This is all of it. One long line through the body here. And then if you're feeling it, you might creep out into a full side plank. Ooh. Good. Go ahead and untwist. Return to your down dog for just a moment. Get on those knees and child pose. Okay, from here, lift up into, we'll just go ahead and lift up. We're going to curl the toes under and sit back on the heels. Getting these knees out nice and wide, so we're in this like yogi squat here. We're going to take a moment just to open up these hips a little bit. See if you can tap the knees towards the earth. If they don't touch the ground, that's fine. Just go ahead and give it a try. And then we're going to practice our crow pose. So if you're an experienced yogi, go ahead and get into crow. If you're wanting practice and some guidance, we're going to walk through it together. So to set up for crow, we're going to get the hands about shoulder width apart, and we're going to lift the hips. So not up into a crazy full forward fold, but we do kind of still want to keep these knees bent and out because we want this posture for our crow. So the hands are about shoulder width, and they want the entire surface of the hand wide and flat to the earth. So no tight hands here. We also need the shoulder width to really support us. All right, so you can maybe step it up if you need to, and we're going to crouch down, getting these knees up into our tricep. So kind of below the armpit, right onto this muscle. Let it support you and your weight. All right, so think about this as a tripod, essentially. Your head is not touching the ground, but that would be like one leg of it. The hands are the others. So get those knees up into the triceps, into the armpit crook, and then get onto those toes. You're using your core. You must turn on those hands and lift one foot. Go ahead and lift the other. And experiment. I am still experimenting with my crow. I encourage you to do the same. If you fall and tumble, that's all part of the experience. All right? Don't let that stop you. Pick yourself up. Take a rest. Give it another go. So once again, the knees come to rest on the triceps, right into the armpit crook. They are a little weight bearing, but you can't rely on them entirely. You must use your core. Your core is lifting you. So opposing action here. And then once you've had enough time to experiment with your crow, we're going to come on down. We're going to just come right on down to the belly. We don't, if you want to do another vinyasa, go nuts. Otherwise, we're just going to come straight on down. And we're going to lay flat in a nice wide T shape. So arms go out to either side. And then we're going to do a scorpion twist. So bend your right knee and then put your right hand on the earth. So here, I'll do it the other way. Bend your left knee and bring your left hand on the earth, right in line with your shoulder. Your right arm is still reaching out into that T shape, the way we started. And then you're going to push with your hand and you're going to roll onto your side. So now we're just side laying with our bent knee behind us. Then we're going to take that foot and we're going to put it on the ground. And you might roll back a little more onto the hip, and you should feel a nice opening in the front of your right shoulder over here. Maybe a nice sensation on your spine as well. So this is one option. Another option is to take this arm and then slide your other arm to your glutes, and you can grip both hands together at the tailbone. When you do this, I encourage you to lift your neck so it's not flopping loose to the side. We're going to get full body support here. This is a really lovely chest opener and is really great to counteract all of the vinyasa and the arm holds that we were working on today. And we're going to release this by taking the left arm, that is our support, and we're going to return it to the earth. Using that, we're going to roll back the way we came. Maybe you enjoy a really good quad massage as you roll back the other way. And then we're just going to repeat on the other side. So we're going to bend the right knee, bend this right elbow to push your hand into the earth, and then just roll first onto your side, and then finish it off by putting that foot onto the earth. So either stay here for option one, now if you want to go a little deeper into option two, slide this hand to your tailbone. Right arm reaches back to clasp, and you lift the neck to support it. And then slow and steady, we're going to unbind here, get our support back on the earth, and nice and easy, roll back the way we came from. All right, from here, we're going to move into a seated posture. So push yourself up. One more option to maybe check in with that plank, and then get on back into a seat. Knees bend, feet go flat, and then the hands are going to point forward, if you can tolerate that. If the wrists are a little tight and you can't turn the hands completely to point forward, then go ahead and turn them out to either side. If that is still not available to you, then you may continue. Well, of course, you may do whatever you want. Find what works for you, but the more you can point your fingers forward, the better stretch you can get throughout the shoulder, which is what we're really trying to open up here, shoulder and heart space. All right, so push your heart to the sky. Push your hands into the mat. Make sure that your wrists feel supported and not hurting. Open the heart. Turn to look to your side. Nice and easy. From here, you can relax those hands a little bit. I still like to keep them out to the side. I think that feels really good. We're going to widen the feet so that the feet are actually wider than the mat. I have my feet off to either side of the mat.
And we're going to do a little shin boxing. So basically, you're just trying to tap both knees to the floor, and the right hip is going to lift as you tilt towards the left. Okay, come back to center, tilt towards the right, left hip lifts so that both knees can tap the earth. Now the booty kind of wants to scoot forward as you do this, so you can kind of follow it or just slide yourself back. But I want you to go back and forth a couple times and really get some hip openers. And this can feel so, so good in that rotator cuff and also stretching out those pecs. So really getting into those muscles that we worked today. Also getting a nice glute massage while we're at it. Why not? All right, even yourself out. Make sure you get the same number on each side, and then come into your upright seat once more. Knees bent, hands grab onto those thighs, and then we can get onto these toes and go ahead and lift. Yes, we're going to do a boat one more time. Okay, breathe here. Maybe release those hands. Maybe go full boat, hollow body. Breathe. From here, curl yourself in. See if you can not touch. See if you can continue just balancing on the tailbone. If not, that's totally fine. Practice. And then we're going to slowly lower ourselves all the way down and send those legs high to the sky. Arms out nice and wide into a T shape. And then from here, we're going to bend the knees. Knees go out wide as the feet come towards each other. And then we're going to grip the outside edges of the feet. So see if you can start here. If not, go ahead and grab onto the shin, or you can even grab onto like the calf here, or even the back of the thigh. So the goal that we're going for is just a nice hip opener. So you've got your full happy baby here, where your hands grab to the outer edges of the feet. Elbows are on the inner calf. All right, if that doesn't work, yeah, like I said, you can grab onto the ankles. You can also grab onto those thighs, as mentioned. So you've got options here. Now, wherever you happen to be in your happy baby, see if you can straighten out one leg. See if you can do the other. As you do this, bring a gentle rocking sensation to your spine. Once again, stimulating that kidney area. And as you continue, you might see if you can tap your toes on the ground. And then we're going to bring everything in. Come into the tiniest little ball that you can, squeezing everything together, knees to chest, nose to knees. Take a deep breath and release. In your Savasana, take a moment and just notice how you feel. Bring awareness to body. This will help you from being distracted in your thoughts. Move from the top to the bottom, from head to toe, and just assess how that part of the body is doing. How's your head? Where are you holding tension there? Release it. How are the shoulders? Where are you holding tension? Release it. How are the hips? Where are you holding tension? Release it. Please stay in Savasana for as long as you like. Taking a moment here just to surrender after a invigorating practice. You got the blood moving, maybe you broke a sweat on the mat as well. Enjoy the feeling. And thank yourself for this practice. If you're ready to leave your Savasana, then you can bring small movements to the hands and feet. I always encourage staying longer, but just for video purposes, I will walk you through a closing. So we're moving hands and feet, and then we can start moving, maybe rotating the arms and the legs. I love to get a little bit of rotations in the joints. Maybe a full body stretch. And then if you're feeling up for it, we can rock and roll to the top or find your own way to get back up to a seat. From here, let's close our practice with the chant of Om and 3 chants of Shanti. So these are Sanskrit words. Om is the primordial sound of the universe, and it is the uniting resonant tone for all 7 in-body chakras. Shanti means peace, and we repeat it 3 times as 3 is a sacred number. Take a deep breath. And again, we're going to inhale, deep breath, hands to the sky this time. Cultivate the energy, pull in that energy which you created on your mat here. Bring it in, positive energy coming into the body. One more deep breath here, preparing for chanting. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for joining me in this Libra practice. I hope that it helps bring some balance to whatever you need right now.